I made double side jumps, single side jumps, momentum floor side jumps, wall cone floor jump, side jump, side jump. I've made every single type of side jump that you can possibly think of in a tutorial for a video. And in this video, it's going to be a mixture of all those. I'm going to explain to you the best tips I know for side jumping right now. First thing we're going to do is attach these KenBeans glasses for the one time. I honestly have no idea how many supporters we have right now, but so many people use my code and I appreciate it so much. I can't even be able to begin to describe all the love I've been getting from people, and I love seeing the Instagram and Twitter DMs about it. If you're going to use my code or you have, thank you. Tip number above the webcam, let's go. Oh, and by the way, this is going to be the most basic to the most advanced tips. So I'm going to speed through the beginner tips so that way we can get to the advanced stuff, just so everyone's caught up on the same page. When you're starting out side jumping, just learn how to land on a flat like this. Just constantly go up and land on a flat. What you want to do is set yourself up for the later things we're going to practice by landing closer to this front tile right here. So just start out, come over here, land on a flat, and just keep practicing that so you can get it down. After you master that, what you want to do is come over here and land on this stair and floor at the same time. If you get stuck jumping like this, that means that you're jumping at the wrong spot. You see this V to edit, you kind of want to jump on this parallel line. So if you were to extend this line out, you want to jump here and land like that. If you can hit the V every time you side jump, it's going to work 90% of the time. Remember that if you're still hitting yourself, just practice almost letting go right before you get to the edge, then you want to jump. Another tip is to kind of curve the direction you go up this stair. So most of the time you don't just see me run right over here like a straight line. What I like to do is kind of make this S shape and then curl up. So what I kind of do is just almost fling my mouse. So I kind of come up, come down, and then jump up like this. A real quick pointer in Fortnite is to not make this a habit. Don't ever try and do this scissor ramp after that side jump. You want to always extend onto this. This is the main goal, where you do a momentum side jump. That's what this is called. So boom, like that. Almost never do you want to do a side jump and land like this and connect out with a scissor ramp. You could do the same thing if you do a momentum side jump, but just add those walls behind you. Then you can connect up with a scissor ramp and you're one level above height. So after you practice getting this down where you just land here like this, then you want to take a next step further and go where that V is at, just like I was talking about earlier, and just kind of leap off and get here. You want to land on the floor and the stair. Like I said earlier, just make sure you're landing on this tile right here, wherever the closest tile is. So if I'm on the right side, I want to land on this tile, and if I'm on the left side, then I want to land on this tile right here. To get used to placing these walls above your head, all you have to do is follow my crosshair movement. So you come up, I stay up, and then I look down for a split second and place this floor in the stair.
So it looks like this in summer.
As you become a pro at it, you really want to land in the center. That way you're in really good crosshair position and you can just place all these builds around you and do whatever you want. It just helps you lead to the next thing better. But when you're just starting, you could afford to land over here, like really close to it. If you ever get coned and you're caught too far up in this cone and you still want to side jump, you could still do it. So for example, if I'm running up and I get coned randomly, I'm going to run down and then side jump. You always can continue momentum by running down, looking down this direction as well, and then spiking up last second. So real quick, it looks like this. I get coned, I come down, and then come up. Just like I was talking about that S position movement thing earlier. Same thing applies here. So take that out the equation for a second. What you want to do is start doing this, right? Once you get here, then you want to add the walls to it like this. Keep practicing until you can land in the center just like I am. If you ever get stuck, remember that you can land closer to the wall here or this floor tile, and it will help you get better, more consistent side jumps. From then on, this is where a lot of practice comes into play, because you're going to find yourself hitting this. You're going to find yourself going underneath the stair like this. It's going to be triggering, and a lot of bad stuff might happen to you. There's a lot of tips I mentioned like a minute ago that will help you with that. One really quick tip that I can mention is that you ever find yourself here and you find yourself going too long and you get underneath your stair, that means that you're jumping too late. So you want to get more elevation and aim for that center spot right here. So what I really recommend doing is having your floor out the second you place this cone. That way you can have an idea about how you're going to hit this jump. It gives you an idea about when to time the jump correctly, so you can just get it every time. The second it goes right below you, you whip it out and take out that stair too. Just remember how I'm attacking this at a diagonal, right where this V meets. So every time I'm attacking at a diagonal, I take out my floor like this and hit it every time. Pay really close attention to my crosshair movement. You see how I'm not jerking it like this? This is super important not to jerk down every time. You want to be really consistent and smooth with it. You see how little effort's required in doing side jumps? I barely almost look down. It's nothing crazy. Some people that I know, they come here and they go like this and it's nuts and they place their stuff all over the place. Really focus on having good crosshair movement with little movements. The less movement you do going into the move, the more aware you're going to be when you come out of the move. So just remember that. All right, this right here is going to get mega hard for some people, but this is one of the most important side jumps in the game. This is stuff I carry over to my creative fights and my realistic fights. This is how you side jump with being completely protected when you're trying to go for height. Just notice how I'm placing the walls first before I do the side jump. I could do it like this without placing the walls first, but it's way more consistent when you place the walls first and then do the move. Notice how I'm taking my pickaxe out after everything is said and done so I can continue editing without getting caught on the stair above me. The only way to get cracked at this is by really just practice flicking everything you're doing. Literally just come up here, throw it, boom, just send it every time. Don't even try and worry about the technique to it. Just get used to the muscle movements first. In slow-mo, it looks like this. A more simple version is this. If you constantly keep hitting your head like this, then remember to line it up with the V and jump from here. I'm jumping the second I get to here. You see how one foot's almost off? That's when I want to do it. I'm doing it with a floor out. That way I can time it better as well. Remember to do this S curl that I was talking about like this. That way you can always never get coned fully and screw up your momentum. Whenever you're doing build fights, you always want to keep momentum, and that's one of the ways I do it. One of the things I didn't mention was coming here and just getting stuck like this. A lot of times when people do a cone jump, they come here and they hit their head. What I have to say to you is to be way more patient with your floors. Really aim to just practice landing on the floor over and over and over. If you constantly keep hitting your head like this, then focus on landing on this tile right here. Taking this one step further, if you ever want to do a double momentum side jump like this, or even a triple, maybe even a quad, really focusing on landing on the outskirts of the builds like I was talking about. That way it will be so much easier for you to hit the next jump. So when I come here, I'm gonna do this, and I don't look too far up, down, all that. I look right in the center so the cone places. So if I'm ever here and I land on this, I already placed the cone, and that's the second I come down and back up again. So I do that snake movement even more on the double or triple side jumps. So I'm coming here, I'm going boom, and notice how the side I land towards is the one that I'm gonna leap off towards. Why would I want to run this way and come all the way up here? It doesn't look too good. Every time you want to do multiple side jumps back to back, what you want to do is go to the side you're jumping towards. See how I hit my head right here? That means I should have went down further and then came back up and hit the jump like this. Even I screw up. It happens to everyone. So continuing, I come here, I hit this, I jump off here, and I'm already setting myself up to come down, back up, come down, back up. Boom, boom. And you follow this rhythm. I did it again. You follow that rhythm over and over and over. Up, down, up, down. I'm getting this right and I'm doing it right now. I'm coming here. Boom. Come down. Boom. It's really, really simple when you think about it. All I'm doing is doing the side jump and instantly looking here and placing the cone because it's just in a perfect crosshair placement for that. Those side jumps that I showed in the beginning of the video are the ones that you really want to master. The more and more side jumps you learn, the better off you're going to be because you're going to understand how each of them work. And by the time you get to the last one, it's going to be freaking cracked because you know all the little tips and tricks. Okay, this is one of the most advanced side jumps in the game. If you can master this, you're going to be freaking cracked. One of the tips that made this so simple for me was really learning how to get close to this, controlling my movement so I can get really close to this tile right here. Like I was mentioning throughout this entire video, that's so important. So if you notice, I come here and I land on that tile. You see how close I got to this? That's because I really need to get close to the far bottom of this stair so I don't morph through it. So if you do this again, you see how I just morphed through it? That's the thing I'm talking about. So come here, boom. You can get all these walls behind you as well, and you can lead up with a scissor ramp to get mega protection. This move right here is not the most optimal in the game, but if you can master this, your side jumping is gonna get a lot easier. If you can accomplish the harder things, the little things are gonna be easy as heck. Okay, now we're gonna take a second to relax, because those are a lot of tips. I'm honestly not sure if I really liked going that fast, because that was pretty fast. If you have a question, feel free to stop by on my Twitch chat and just say what's up for the one time. Link to that's gonna be in the description below. Shout out to everyone on the screen right now using code KenBeans. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys as we're on the road to 100K. This channel's growing so fast, man. And I appreciate every single one of you. I'll talk to you in the next video. Deuces. Peace.